Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a definitive, high-yield study session all about the economics of a monopoly. And listen, this specific explainer, it's designed explicitly to help you completely crush the JRF exam. We are skipping all the unnecessary fluff and zeroing right in on the exact level 2 depth you need to master this topic, score high, and truly understand the core mechanics of monopolistic markets. Let's get right into it. Here is our super quick roadmap for today. Number 1, meet the only seller. 2, the golden revenue rule. 3, profit maximization and inefficiency. 4, understanding price discrimination. 5, perfect competition versus monopoly. And finally, number 6, we'll wrap up with a JRF level mini test. All right, part 1, meet the only seller. To really make these concepts stick in your brain, we're going to anchor our whole study session on a guy named Ravi. Just picture Ravi. He has completely vanquished all of his competition. He is now the absolute only seller of t-shirts in the entire market. Zero competitors, no substitutes. This wildly unique position transforms Ravi into the ultimate price maker. He doesn't just sit back and accept the market price, he dictates the whole shebang. Now, there are 4 highly testable features of a monopoly that show up constantly as direct net questions. First, a single seller with full control. Second, consumers literally have no close substitutes. They either buy from Ravi or they don't buy at all. Third, we have absolute barriers to entry, which completely blocks new firms from coming in to challenge him. And fourth, the firm is the price maker. If you ever see a JRF question that says firm controls price, boom, that is your immediate, undeniable trigger that we are talking about a monopoly. Moving on to section 2, the golden revenue rule. Okay, so the single most important difference between a monopoly and perfect competition is the downward sloping market demand. In perfect competition, demand is just a flat horizontal line. But for Ravi, his demand curve slopes downwards. And this has a massive consequence. If Ravi wants to sell an extra t-shirt, he has to reduce the price. Let's actually look at the math here. Say he sells 1 unit at 100 rupees. His total revenue is 100 rupees, right? But to sell 2 units, he has to drop the price down to 90 rupees for both shirts. So his total revenue becomes 180. Now, what is the marginal revenue? Like the actual revenue brought in from that second shirt? Well, it's the difference between 180 and 100, which is only 80 rupees, not the 90 rupee price tag. Which brings us to this point, and I cannot stress this enough, this is an absolute JRF gold result. Marginal revenue will always lie below average revenue in a monopoly. Always. Because to sell that extra unit, the price literally has to fall for all the prior units too, which drags the marginal revenue down way below the average price. You definitely need to burn this exact rule into your memory. All right, section 3, profit maximization and inefficiency.
So, now that we understand Ravi's revenue math, let's figure out how he actually maximizes his profits. The foundational rule of equilibrium? That doesn't change here. Just like in other market structures, Ravi is going to find his profit maximizing sweet spot at the exact point where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And because of those strict barriers to entry keeping pesky competitors out, a monopoly can actually keep earning these profits even in the long run.
But, okay, red alert, watch out for this massive net trap on your exam. The examiners absolutely love to trick people with this. If you see the equation price equals marginal revenue as a condition for monopoly equilibrium, just cross it out immediately. That only applies to perfect competition. For Ravi, price comes directly from his downward sloping demand curve. So at equilibrium, price is strictly greater than marginal revenue. And this brilliantly highlights the inherent inefficiency of monopolies. When you compare it to perfect competition, a monopoly intentionally produces less output and charges a higher price. This creates a really severe problem that economists call deadweight loss. It is a literal loss of total welfare in society. You have these eager consumers who are perfectly willing to buy the product at a reasonable cost, and they're simply priced out. It's like a chunk of economic value just vanishes.
Next up, section 4. Understanding price discrimination.
This is a highly testable hot topic for the JRF exam. Price discrimination is when Ravi starts charging completely different people totally different prices for the exact same t-shirt. There are 3 degrees of this you've got to know. First degree, actually that one's pretty rare, it's charging the absolute maximum each individual consumer is willing to pay. Second degree is pricing based on quantity, kind of like giving a bulk discount if you buy a dozen shirts. But third degree, that's the most important one for your exam. This is when you charge entirely different groups completely different prices. Think about movie theaters offering student discounts, or airline pricing where a business traveler pays way more than someone going on vacation.
So, third-degree price discrimination relies on one really crucial condition. Elasticity differs across markets. And this brings us to another net gold line. A monopolist will always charge a higher price in markets where demand is inelastic, meaning those consumers aren't sensitive to price changes, they just have to buy it anyway. Conversely, they'll charge a much lower price where demand is highly elastic.
Almost there. Section 5. Perfect competition versus monopoly.
To really lock all this in, let's do a direct head-to-head showdown. I highly recommend taking a mental screenshot of this quick comparison matrix because it cleanly summarizes every high-yield difference you need to know. In perfect competition, price is simply given. In a monopoly, it's controlled. Perfect competition has horizontal demand, monopoly has downward sloping demand. For perfect competition, MR equals AR. But remember our golden rule for monopoly, MR is strictly less than AR. And finally, while perfect competition only sees normal profit in the long run, monopoly profits can persist indefinitely.
All right, Section 6, JRF Level Mini Test. Let's see what you remember.
Time to put your attention to the test with 3 rapid-fire questions directly from what we just covered. Question 1. In a monopoly, marginal revenue is A. Equal to average revenue, B. Greater than AR, C. Less than AR, or D. 0. Think back to that golden revenue rule we talked about regarding selling that second t-shirt. Moving right along to question 2. What is the monopoly equilibrium condition? A. P equals MC, B. MC equals MR, C. MR equals AC, or D. AC equals P. Try to recall the exact profit condition we discussed, and whatever you do, do not fall for that net trap about price. And finally, question 3. Price discrimination occurs when A. The same price is charged, B. Different prices are charged, C. No price is charged, or D. A fixed price is applied. Think about those movie tickets, the student discounts, and the airlines.
Go ahead and drop your answers to questions 1, 2, and 3 down in the comments below. Review the explainer again if you need a quick refresher. And I want to leave you with a question. The next time you're buying a plane ticket or snagging a student discount, ask yourself, are you just a lucky consumer, or are you actually the target of third-degree price discrimination? Keep studying smart, keep zeroing in on those high-yield concepts, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.